What is going on, Internet? It is your brother from another mother, nickpaulygee here, bringing you my very first post-recorded pool commentary, which sounds a bit obnoxious, right, to some, but let me tell you what, if you are passionate about something and you want to get better, part of it is sitting down watching yourself play, picking up on habits and certain things that you can improve on as a player to really step yourself up to that next competitive level, which I've never actually participated in a pool tournament, but I have dedicated a lot of time to improving this art and to get better at the sport itself, and this is one of the best shooters I've ever seen. And when I say that, of course, I've seen better people on the internet, but with my own two eyes, this is one of the best pool shooters I have ever had the privilege of playing with multiple times. He is, I'd consider to say, my teacher at this point. Like, he has taught me more than just about anyone else, other than my dad, who, of course, showed me pool. And I could never forget my grandpa Al, who taught me defensive pool. And he's been quite the character in my life. Much love, Grandpa. But he's given me those crucial pieces of advice to really push my game to the next level, and I've noticed that he is a lot more patient than I am. And you know, like, whenever I go back and edit it, I'm only editing our shots, but if we were to, you know, collaborate together all of the amount of times that we prepare for a shot, he sits there and prepares a lot more than I do, which is a lot better, because the next level players obviously know that you only get one shot, you only get one opportunity for each, you know, encounter at the table, and he makes sure that his one encounter goes as far as he can each and every time. And that's the part of competing in this game, guys. And like, because I do take games off of him, right? And just so you guys know, I'm not a competitive pool player as of right now, but how it works in APA, America's Pool Association, is that there's a handicap, and it's based on your skill level going from a 4 to a 7, 7 being the highest. And the guy that I'm shooting against right now is a 7 in the league, so he is of the top competitive skill level just in your, you know, your tournament league. And so he is respected as such. He's a very fearsome opponent, and he, of course, you never want to use that word for your opponent, is fearsome, because you never want to be scared of your opponent. You want to always play to the best of your ability. This very first rack, I actually ended up taking the game. I ran out those last, I think, like 4 or 5 balls. I'd have to go back and count, but it was a good run. That was the very first game that was on camera, which is very funny because we had been playing about an hour before this, and he completely obliterated me, no jokes. Like, and of course, it's kind of like whenever I play a competitive Smash player and, you know, a top competitive player in my region, and we have close games, but, you know, he just takes it every game. Because when it comes down to it, I'll have close games with this guy, but he does end up taking it most of the times because he's just so humble and so persistent. He's so much more competitively in depth than I am, and it's because he plays it so much more. He has so much respect for the game. I don't consistently practice. This is my first time shooting pool in quite some time, but I knew that if I were to record with this guy, that it would be certainly entertaining, to say the least. So here we are, moving on to our second game of 9-ball, where I broke it because I did take the last game. And I really do feel like, man, on these tables, 9-ball is definitely a more feared game. It is why the professionals play it more. Like, look at that shot he just drained. You know, he was totally going for that pocket too, but the second ball, like, it went in the side pocket, he wasn't going for. But man, I'm telling you, it's one of those things, like, especially if you've played before, whenever you see someone of a skill level like this, it really does. It humbles you out. Like, holy wow, there are people out there that are way hungrier for it than you are. And like, here's the thing, and he would agree with this. You know, he can get humbled real quick. He can always be beat. Like, the people that are better than you can always be beat, right? If they think that they're too good, or if they ever sleep on you as an opponent. But what separates them is really just that fact. The fact that they know that they came from, you know, a place where they were not as good, where they know that they haven't always been this good at the game. They haven't always been this competitively in depth, right? And that's what I respect about him more than anything, is because he'll try to give you advice actively all the time. And he ended up running that game out. But what sucks, like I said, is that I found out that there is only a 12-minute interval where it records and then the camera turned off. And I didn't find that out until going back and look at the gameplay again. But here we are playing on these smaller tables, where obviously I do shine a little bit more because I do have, of course, as I whiff a shot, but I do practice. Whenever I do practice, I have my own table, and it's a smaller table such as this one. But this guy, I'm telling you, and that's how it goes. Like, look, you see his cell phone right there. He was talking to his daughter throughout all these sets. Like, he was literally just chatting with his daughter on the phone, and you know, just kind of casually having a conversation. We weren't money matching or anything, but it's just funny to me how, like, he can just kind of hold a conversation. You know, he busted the table up right there and said, you know, go at it, Nick. If you mess up, it's my game, pretty much. That's, like, the mindset that I have, and that's bad because, you know, you pretty much just need to always try to do you best you can and really try to outperform yourself and try to play to the top of your ability and not really be worried too much about who you're fighting against or who your opponent is. In a game such as this one especially, where it's pretty much all about being in your conscious and playing to the best of your ability best you can. But see, right there, I went for that aggressive shot, didn't think about my defensive lead very much, and hey man, he got the best of me right there. Just in a friendly game, you know, tap, tap, tap right there. All those balls are easily, that's the easy run, as you can see. So he's up 1-0 on the smaller tables, and then at this point, in just a little bit, my camera does run low on battery, and so I guess it is 2-0. Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay, so it must be out of order. We did play we played 4 games on these small tables yesterday. The footage was really weird because the Canon would only record in 12-minute intervals. I don't know how to change that. And this was some pretty good positioning, I want to say, I got for myself right here. And I do get a good little run, I want to say. Let's see where I leave for that. I hit it with some top right. And, ooh, yeah, I kind of snuck myself behind a ball, it looks like. Yep, and then I think I go for a bank, yeah, and I miss it. Barely miss it. It was a good, respectable bank, though. And that's the thing, like, this guy will go for, like, 4 rail bank shots. And you know, he won't make them every time. He won't even make them, like, a majority of the time, I'd say, quote-unquote. He could be hustling me, right? Wink. But, nah, he gets respectably freaking close, like, to where he calls it, and you're like, holy crap, like, if he would have drained that, I would be like, what the F, man? And so, let's see, I got 2 balls left on the table. Get that nice cut in the side pocket, but not quite. It looked like it was going, but it looks like that was not quite Nicky's friend. I tell you what, he has given me some good advice, like to stay consistent with my approach, like how you hold the stick, be very comfortable with the stick, you know, with your backhand especially. Make sure you're not too firm with it. Make sure you're very nice and loose, because if you're firm, then you really are just kind of screwing yourself. Right there, he told me that he tapped the ball on accident, and there was a ball in hand, and that was a really good punish. And I run the table out right here, I want to say, and I think this was the one game that I did take, which did feel nice. It just feels good even beating him a game. But that's how people say that hustlers do, right? They'll let you win a couple games, right? No, I think really that's how it goes in anything, is when you're playing a good player, they can always slip up, especially if you're hungry enough, man. Like, if you show that you are improving and that you really do want it bad enough, you can always catch a better player on a day off, or really just like whenever you outplay them, man. It can always happen. So really don't ever give up if you actively have a dream for a tournament. If you really want to win something, or if you want to shine, you just got to put in the work, man. Because, like, really, I do believe that if you work towards something hard enough, you will achieve. Because, like, this guy right here, man, he is unlike anyone I've ever personally shot against, and you can just feel the experience on the table whenever you play him. It really is nuts. It's just funny because I can get reminiscent about how whenever I first picked up a pool stick, I absolutely hated it. And he told me right there he didn't even mean to go for that shot. He was like, oh, yep, that's your ball. I was like, oh, cool. But I remember whenever I first picked up pool, and I absolutely hated it because I couldn't shoot. Like, I literally did not have the hand-eye coordination to shoot. I'd see my dad shoot, and I'd say, dude, I just can't do it. This game sucks. I respect the game. I just can't do it. But then, you know, you get a pool table. My dad got one. And I just absolutely found myself loving the game after I finally got a grip on the stick and getting a hang of, you know, cue control and spin control of the ball. And it's a lot of self-discipline to shoot pool well, to say the least. And this right here is a scratch, guys. And I actually wanted to go over that footage one more time. In 8-ball, it is considered a scratch if you shoot and you make contact with one of your object balls and nothing makes contact with a rail or goes into a pocket after the initial contact. With that ball in hand, I'll definitely take that free pocket shot right there and bust up the 8-ball. And let's see what I do from here, because I definitely have a wide spread at this point. I sink it in right there. Very nice, Nicky. Let's see. 6-ball into the corner. I meant into the side pocket. I've been saying side and corner pockets in different wrong versions. Oops, in the wrong terminologies. And then I shanked that shot. That's right. I shanked that, and I was like, dang, dude. Mel misses this cut, which was a very tough cut, but he does have the pocket control from that one side. But I do manage to squeeze the 7 ball right in there and get a good lead for the 5 all the way down. But then this next shot irks me. I go for a lot of backspin, and I absolutely whiff it, and I accidentally jump the ball, which is never good. That's not a good disciplined shot, Nick. You should have taken your time and really tried to hit the very bottom of the ball and not try to bounce it as much, because you know that then you're really not giving the stick its proper respect. And then right here he gets a phenomenal shot. Like, that requires some respect, and he drains it. And obviously that is an amateur shot, to say the least, to leave the game with. And he whiffs it just to give me a chance. And then I go for the bank, whiff the bank, and then he says, "All right, son, now I have to put you in the dirt." And he lines up to this final 8 ball, and you're thinking, oh, he could miss it. And you're right, he very well could, but that's the difference between him and an average Joe Schmo, is he doesn't miss those. Finally, we move on to the big boy tables to see Mel play someone else. His name's Anthony. I was very happy that he let me record him and that they didn't mind me recording them, because at the end of the day, if you do want to improve seeing yourself on camera, even though I do not know how to focus whenever I zoom in on you, is better at the end of the day, because if you are hungry to get better, you do notice some things whenever you see yourself on camera, or certain tendencies that you don't usually pick up whenever you're just playing naturally. But I did get to record 3 games of them playing over here. They were doing a race to 4, and I didn't get to record the whole thing because my camera unfortunately did die. But as we see here, Mel is running the table. He does have some good cue control right now. He's on the 4 ball. He sinks it all the way down and gets a good lead for the 5, a rather challenging shot, which he does manage to miss slightly, leaving a plunging crossbank shot for Anthony as he approaches the table. And he does miss that 5 ball. Unfortunately, these tables, I'm telling you guys, if you have never shot pool, this is a professional size table. The footage that you just saw of me and him playing at the very beginning was on the professional size table, this exact table, but the other footage was on the smaller bar size tables, which is a lot easier than these bigger tables because the shots are a lot more difficult and a lot more precise to get exactly the shot that you would like when it comes to a cue leave and when it comes to like I said, that long distance competitive shot. Like you're seeing these 2 competitors right here shoot. These long distance shots are really, no matter at what level, are the ones that are the most demanding, if you ask me. But he does drain that long distance 6 straight in shot and gets a good leave on the 7, and he drains the 7 as well. Very good shots by Anthony. And then right here he's done to the 8 and the 9 ball. And of course, these are all thoughts that I'm thinking as I'm watching them play. But you know, of course, I'm just the silent cameraman. I would love to commentate a pool match live, where the players aren't hearing me and I can commentate my thoughts. That would be a very fun experience. But he does sink that 8 ball, Mel does, and the 9 ball does go in as well. Very difficult shot. It was a good cut. Not difficult, but it was a definitely demanding shot, putting Mel up 1-0. And he does break the next game and does not make any ball in on the break. Usually Mel, he showed me his breaks once or twice, right, and he does usually sink it, but he leaves Anthony that 1 shot, and he does do a good job of sinking that and giving himself a pretty good eye on the 2. He does decide to play defense right here and give Mel that he does a very good job, kind of lucky, but it's part of the game of leaving the cue in the rail, giving a good defensive shot, not giving Mel really too much, but a long distance awkward shot. Anthony gets the ball back, and he plays defense again, but this time Mel does seize the opportunity and does get a good shot on the 2. He sinks the 2 into the pocket, not getting the best of leaves on the 3 ball. But this 3 ball right here is pretty difficult. I know that this game they were fighting for that 3 ball for a good bit, so Mel does do a good job playing some good defense. And Anthony does a good job just making contact with the 3, not giving Mel that ball in hand. And Mel retorting back, playing more defense. So just so you guys know, obviously I am cutting out all of the in-between gameplay. It's just raw, focused gameplay to where I know what I'm doing. I can commentate it, and it's the most action-packed pool that you can get without as much in-between shots and whatnot. Anthony does miss that 3 ball. These are very difficult shots. Very good shot by Mel, but the leave, he did not anticipate that snook. I did want to get a better angle on this shot right here, but I didn't want to distract. He does jump it, but he doesn't jump it successfully by hitting the 5 ball first, allowing Anthony to get that ball in hand, hit that 5 ball in with ease, and get a beautiful leave on the 6 ball, to say the least. Anthony right here hits that 6 ball in easily and does a good job setting up for the 7, but right here he hits the 7 a little hard, and that cue finds its way to that side corner, or not side corner pocket. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Nick. He finds a way to the side pocket, scratching, and Mel taps the other 2 balls in for a quick 2-0. And then this last game, my camera did unfortunately cut out. Mel did make a ball in on the break in this last game that I did get, as I said, recorded against Anthony. And he hits that one in with ease and sets himself up beautifully for the 2 ball, to say the least. At this point, I was tripping. I was like, wow, this man's just great. He set that up effortlessly, it looked like. He sets up for the 3 as well. You can't see the angle too well from here. Then he goes to take off the 9 ball thing, and my camera dies for the first time. And then I quickly boot it back up. I'm like, ooh, crap, I still got some footage hopefully I can get. And it's like dead. It's dead at this point. He makes this last 4 ball in where he has 4 other balls left on the table after he hits that contact ball in. And unfortunately, we don't get the privilege of seeing it because my Canon died, but he does run this table out, not even allowing Anthony a shot on the table, showing that true caliber of gameplay that Mel truly has. And he has that eye of the tiger and that passion of, if he could, he would shoot pool all day. And really, if you want to get to that competitive skill level, you have to have that drive and determination and practice work ethic. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will be bringing more pool content to my channel over time. I'm not sure when the next time I'll be doing something like this. I might go back and edit all this and just really try to condense it down even more and maybe make a montage. That'd be pretty cool. I'd also like to personally take this time to thank Mel and Anthony for letting me record them, and Skeeters for allowing me to come in with a camera. That is the very first time I'm doing this, and I will do it, of course, soon to come. Thank you guys for watching, and y'all have a blessed day.